What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video I want to go over the top 5 announcements and games that I want to see at EA Play Live. Now, this is kind of a ranking, kind of a predictions video, okay? Trying to mix them up a little bit. These are going to be some things I think are pretty guaranteed to be there, and there's also going to be some things I don't think are going to be guaranteed to be there. And, we've even made specific videos on some of these things, talking, do I think that it's going to be there or not be there? Some of them have also appeared in this video, okay? Now, really quickly, before I get going, I want to promote our Discord server really quickly. We're actually going to be doing a Discord event for EA Play Live, so we're going to be reacting to it live in the Discord. If you guys have not yet checked it out, it'll be in the description below. We're getting really close to 500 members, lots of people over there already, so, very willing to talk about anything you guys want to talk about. And again, we're going to do a specific EA kind of event tomorrow for this. Very, very excited for this. Honestly, I really can't wait to see what they have in store for us. So let's go through this from 5 to number 1. Number 5, I'm going to say, is Battlefield 6. And you could say, well, man, you're putting that pretty darn low. The only reason it's low is because I don't think we would get that much to it. So again, there's a lot of really weird things I'm throwing in to this list, or a lot of like stipulations. Battlefield 6, I'm very excited for. I cannot wait for it. I really want them to turn it around, right? They obviously need to turn around big time. And I do have confidence. I think they really, really can. If they listen to what's happened, in the past, listen to the criticism, I really think they can turn this back into the franchise that it was. And I mean, it always had sold really, really well for them. Obviously not as well as they wanted it to the last couple months, but that's because they put their expectations so high. Again, really want to see this. At the same time, I think if we were to see this, it would only be a teaser, because again, I think fall 2021, too early right now for it to happen. So I definitely think it's got a little bit more time. I don't think we would see gameplay or anything, and because of that, I'm putting it lower in the list. Number 4 is Dragon Age 4. Honestly, for the same reason. Dragon Age 4, I think, is, out of all of these games, the game that I would be most anticipating, the game that I would want to play the absolute most, okay? But at the same time, again, I think it's very far away. We haven't heard all that much from it. It could actually be in trouble. We've heard some different things from inside BioWare. So, again, it's a game that I really, really want to see. I want to play. I want to have in my hands. But it's not coming for 2, 3, plus, what I mean? It's not coming for quite a while. So, again, I think it's actually possible, and I don't remember what I said in that video. I think I probably ended up saying that it's not going to be there. I think it's probably not going to be there, but I think it's definitely possible. It's not impossible. None of these are actually impossible to appear there. I just don't think it's necessarily likely. I want it to be, but again, if it actually is going to be there, I don't think it's going to be much. Really quickly, before I get to number 3, I want to throw in a quick honorable mention of Dead Space. Dead Space, like a collection. I know obviously Mass Effect seems to be the winner, the one that's going to get the actual remaster, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in this list. Dead Space, I'd really like to see a return to as well, so I just wanted to kind of give that an honorable. Why am I giving it an honorable mention in the middle of the video? It's because I just thought of it, and I wanted to give it a little bit of credit, because I absolutely love those games. Number 3 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So again, kind of the same reason. This game is very, very exciting, right? First game obviously did really, really well. I loved it a ton. The story, I think, was a little weak, especially how they ended it. I think it kind of ended kind of anticlimactically. Although, if you guys haven't played it yet, right before the ending was absolutely insane, right? So, up and down, I guess, in terms of storytelling towards the very end. But they did, honestly, a really, really amazing job. Better than I honestly ever could have expected for a game like this. I mean, it really incorporated a ton of different really, really good games together, right? Nothing that hasn't already been said, but this is a game very, very looking forward to. And I guess, again, in a predictions or ranking of what I would like to see, this is definitely there. Is this likely to be there? No. I think out of all of these, this is probably the least likely to be there, mainly because Star Wars Squadrons, and also just because, again, it is a while away. It's kind of like Battlefield, or even at the same time, I want it to be like a 2021 thing, a fall 2021 thing, but again, they just made Fallen Order, right? It just came out this past, November. So if you're only going to give them 2 years, I would prefer you give them more time, right? The more time, the better. Really let them develop it. Even they talked about with that game that, hey, it was really good and they're really proud with it. But even if they were just given a few more months, they could have done even more with it. They had to get it out because of, Rise of Skywalker. So to give them only 2 years to make a sequel doesn't sound like the best idea, right? So I would personally prefer it to be later. And if it is later, that probably means we're not going to see it. So again, third, because I really want it. I mean, I guess in terms of like personal satisfaction or personal enjoyment, but I really don't think it's actually going to be there. Number 2 is Star Wars Squadron. So this is obviously the game that we just got the announcement of. We just got to see it in terms of the cinematic trailer. I'm pumped. I'm honestly really pumped. Going into this, like last week when they were first announcing it, I wasn't all that excited. Okay, it was a game that I was always going to get. I was always going to get a day one. I was always going to buy. I mean, Star Wars games are always going to be special in their own way. But at the same time, I wasn't like, oh my dear God, like I cannot wait to see it. And now honestly, I am like that. I mean, it's $40. It's $40, and I'm not expecting I'm not expecting like a big thing for this game, okay? I'm expecting it to be good. I'm expecting it to differentiate itself from Battlefront 2. I'm expecting all these things. But at the same time, keeping your expectations level is probably a good idea. And again, for a game like this, $40. They just announced it comes out October 2nd. It's cross-play. It's on current gen, right? I mean, besides current gen's a little weird, but besides that, a lot of it, and there is going to be a story mode, but it's going to be small. I mean, obviously, multiplayer is the main way to go. There's going to be, cameos. You're going to be able to play as pretty, iconic ships. All this stuff. It sounds really cool. I mean, it's hard to not, be looking forward to this. Now, again, does it come out and it's like, okay, well, this is very clearly not a AAA Star Wars game. You know what I mean? Could it happen? Yes, it absolutely could. In fact, it maybe will. But as of right now, what we saw from the trailer, sold. You got me. Show me the gameplay. If it's close to Battlefront 2, but it definitely makes those improvements, again, I think it's going to be worth its $40. I mean, a game being $40, that's 1/3 of a price, that you're taking away from it of a full-price game. So that is a big deal. That's definitely a big deal. And honestly, some games that are $20, $30, $40, they end up having more value or they're better than games that are full price. So, I mean, now am I saying that that's going to happen for this game? No, not necessarily. Again, probably not. But, again, I'm very, very pumped for it. That trailer got me really excited, and I cannot wait to see a full-on gameplay tomorrow. And number 1 is the Mass Effect Collection, Mass Effect Remastered. Again, probably number 1 it's a number 1 for a couple of reasons. One, I love these games. I love Mass Effect. Andromeda, no. Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2 and 3, though, and I think that's probably the opinion of a lot of people. Mass Effect 2 and 3 are super, super amazing games, okay? I jumped in with Mass Effect 2. I absolutely adored it. Even back then, it was still... I was kind of the same person now as I am then when I didn't really beat long games. If the game was too long, if the game was more open-worldy, if there were quests, if there were side quests, all that kind of stuff, chances are I wouldn't beat it. But I put in the time. I put probably 30, 35 hours into both of these games. So I put probably 70 hours combined into Mass Effect 2 and 3. I adore those two games. To have it be remastered, the first game, I mean, I would give it a shot. All of those things. The fact that it's probably, I mean, out of all of these, we know some are absolutely confirmed, right? Like we know Star Wars Squadrons, we know they're making a Fallen Order 2. I mean, all of these we know are happening and stuff. I guess Mass Effect is actually one of the only unknowns that we had in here, other than the Dead Space one, right? Which I said. So it is an unknown, but it's very, very likely to be happening. You know what I mean? And not just likely that it's being made, but because if the rumors are true, it's probably coming this fall, then, I mean, we're going to see it. We may see a little bit it may be like a gameplay mixed with an actual trailer, you know what I mean? Like a 3-4 minute thing where it shows cutscenes, but also shows some snippets of gameplay. I think that's probably what we'll get. We'll get the release date. Is it going to be a next-gen game, too? Can you get it on PS5, Xbox Series X? I mean, that is extremely, extremely cool, and I absolutely cannot wait to jump back. And, I mean, that is absolutely a game that I would get, absolutely a game franchise that I want to jump back in. And also, and to think longer term, we know that Mass Effect isn't dead. We know they want to make more of these games. This is important. This is a very important game. If people buy this game and people love this game and people support this game, that gives them basically ammunition to say, all right, we messed up with Andromeda. Let's not do that again. But we're going to probably, rumors are they're going to restart it, another time. Let's restart it. Let's go back to the basics and let's make a phenomenal Mass Effect game, which again, we thought was going to happen with Andromeda, right? And then that didn't happen. They can have a second chance. This is a franchise big enough. And again, with the help of this collection, whether it's remastered or whether maybe they remade the first game, right? Maybe they did like a Mafia thing with it, and we'll find out. We'll find out very, very soon, but very, very exciting. And I think that's number one because it's the closest. It's probably the soonest of all these games. I mean, I'm actually excited for the sports games. I really am. Like NHL, I really want to see that, see how it's going to run on next gen. Do I think we're going to see all of that tomorrow? Not necessarily, but they have a lot. I've always said, EA, definitely up and down company, definitely not the most loved company in the world, but, they make some very solid games. And all 5 of these that I listed, and even Dead Space is the honorable mention, these are all games that, I mean, come on, they're big. They're big. They're going to sell well. They're going to do well. Hopefully, they're all like well-made games. All that stuff. EA definitely has a really solid group of games and a solid group of developers at their disposal, right? So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What are some games that you think will be there? What are some games that you want to be there that maybe you think actually won't, but you kind of want them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching. Again, tomorrow is EA Play Live. We'll have videos tomorrow night. We'll have videos Friday and into the weekend on anything on EA Play. Okay, we'll be covering it. We'll be having something. I'll probably be tweeting it. We'll have a Discord thing. Lots of stuff on EA Play tomorrow. We're getting very, very close. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on all those videos.